Yeah, three more in a row here this weekend. So obviously they're on the road, so it'll be a challenge. But going back to the Dickinson game, it was nice to just have the one game on Saturday. You know, just to have that extra day, not even playing Friday night after the string we went through, like we talked about, with 6 games in 9 days, and then 3 in a row and 4 in a week, and all this kind of stuff. And we actually had the flu bug go through us as well. So, you know, guys were kind of disappointed, and they'd text me and, Coach, I just can't make it, and then they'd feel bad, and I said, well, at least it wasn't the week before. You know, when we have 3 games in a row, we had 1 game to prepare for, and we knew other guys were going to have to step up, and you know, like we've done all years, other guys have kind of filled the void with guys being sick, and did a great job this weekend again. So it was you know, a rough start to the game when you have a week where, like I said, we didn't practice overly hard. We kind of gave them a couple days off, and then when we came back on Wednesday and didn't have 3 of our top kids there, then all of a sudden it's Thursday and you start preparing. So, you know, we knew it was going to be a rough go with Dickinson no matter what the situation was, and, you know, sure enough it was. They came ready to play, and they're physical and, you know, all the kind of things that Dickinson teams always do to us, and we made it as ugly as possible, and they continued on to help in that process, and both teams shot about 25% in the first half, and you know, we found a way to have the lead at halftime, but you know, it was just a matter of getting in the locker room and kind of understanding what it takes to play against a Dickinson, and you know, how physical it is, and every time you cut, you get bumped, and those kind of things. So we tried to simulate it a little bit in our practices, and I thought did a decent job to prepare us for that, but still kind of got us in a hurry, and weren't able to do the things that we would like to do. So I think we only gave up 22 points, I think, in the first 26 minutes of the game, or 27. I mean, something crazy like that. So I was pretty proud of the guys on the defensive end, and then sure enough, we finally end up getting it going a little bit on the offensive end, and found a way to, you know, pull it out at the end. But we had 3 or 4. We talk about missing bunnies and that kind of thing, and I think we had 3 chances, 2 in a row, and then another one, you know, 3 possessions later where we had wide open layups and bobbled it out of bounds, and then another one where he makes a great back cut and, you know, just misses the layup. So, you know, we got to make those when we go back up there. We play them on Sunday. And it's even a different world up there when you get on their home floor, and it's even more physical, and our guys hopefully are ready, especially coming after 2 other games in Billings. So yeah, that was kind of the Dickinson game. We're obviously happy to be at 6-2 right now, but now we have 8 of our next 8 games on the road. So, you know, we got to make sure that hopefully, you know, we can win a couple games on the road. You know, that's a sign of a good team is when they can take care of business at home. Doesn't matter who's here. You know, find a way to win those games. But, you know, to win in this transition and with the conference and that kind of stuff, to get to that 8, 9, 10 games, whatever you're kind of hoping for, and especially with so many games on the road, we know how difficult it is even within a conference to just try to split and those kind of things. So hopefully, you know, if we want to get to that goal and get into those games, get into those wins, is we have to win on the road. You know, we don't have a ton of home games anymore. So we've taken care of business at home. Now we can kind of see what happens on the road. We do open up with Billings, Montana State Billings. You know, they're, like Coach said, they're a GNAC team. They were at the national tournament last year. They were one of the top teams in the country. You know, BH goes up there, and just comparable teams that we've played, and they lost by, I think, 39. You know, so when, you know, you lose 89-50, you know, we know we're going to have our hands full up there. So hopefully our guys are coming ready to go, and we can have a great defensive effort, but they're extremely athletic. They'll overplay in the lanes. They'll, you know, do a lot of things to get you in a hurry, and we got to make sure that we're slowed down, and hopefully we get a good look. You know, we keep talking about our red shirt team, and they've done a great job so far to prepare us for those games. And then the next night, play a Rocky Mountain team. That same thing. You know, they don't go as deep as a Billings team or us, but they're playing 5, 6, 7 guys a lot of minutes, and those 5, 6, 7 guys are dudes. So we do need to make sure that our defensive effort is there again. Once again, if you're going to win on the road, you got to rebound, can't turn the ball over, and you got to defend. You know, so hopefully we got that part getting better at that every day, and ready to go that way. And then, like I said, with the Dickinson the next night, Sunday, I should say afternoon. So we'll leave the Rocky Mountain, play there in the afternoon, and hopefully get there by midnight or so. Go to a shoot around the next morning and get out of the hotel and go play Dickinson. So we're excited about the weekend. I think everybody's kind of looking forward to a break as well. But like I told the guys in the locker room after the game is, suck it up for one more week. I know this is the finals, the week before finals, and oftentimes that's even more stressful for our guys. They got a lot of papers due. They have the last tests before the finals. So sometimes the week before finals is a little more difficult than even finals week. So hopefully our guys are ready for that, and I know they'll step up to the challenge. Questions? Yes.
Watching this play, he's a true point guard. But you just get the impression if he were a tad more selfish, he could break out.
Well, I've seen him turn down wide open layups because he's just, and you call it unselfish, and he does. He needs to be more selfish, just to look for that. That was one of the things when we recruited him is, the only bad thing his junior college coach said is he's got to shoot more. He's got to be, look for a shot because he can knock it down. I mean, that's the thing. Usually you're telling a kid you're not supposed to be shooting, if they can't do it and that kind of thing. Well, he knocks them down in practice. He's knocked them down in games that we've seen, but he's always looking for, somebody to have a better option, and a lot of times that's not a better option is kicking it out for a three when he's got a wide open layup. But I just, hopefully we have him. We went last year up to Dickinson. We lost three guys, three starters in that game, and he's a little bit dinged up right now. So we need him for this weekend, and selfish or unselfish, we got to have him play. But believe me, we've had those conversations is you need to be a little more aggressive. But it's not a bad combination too when you got a guy from Phil that, Philip comes in and, he's looking to score. He's more of a scoring guy. So it's a good compromise that way, but we definitely need Dennis to look to score a little bit more.
What can you tell us about the league kid? It seems like he's 35, and I've seen him lose his cool, and yet he didn't even start this weekend. I don't know if he was disciplined. When he has the ball in his hands, he can do about whatever he wants. What's the story on that kid?
Well, he is a little bit older. He's not quite your age yet, but yeah, he actually didn't. I believe he didn't go to school the first 3 or 4 years out, and then now he's been there for 4 years. So I mean, he's pushing the 30s. I mean, he's getting up there right now. But to be honest, I love the kid. He's a great kid. He's very, very polite, but he gets on the court and he's a very competitive kid too. So whether it's losing his cool or just being competitive, that kind of thing. But I really like him, and he does so many things for the team, and you can see how good a passer he is too. That's kind of what you try to get like an Andrew Rebel for us to go out there and try to guard him, and he's so good. He's got the best first step as anybody, including the guards out there, and he can just blow by guys. And when he gets to the basket, he can oftentimes find the open guy even better than guards too. So he does a lot of things for the team. He's scored a lot of points. I think he was a preseason All-American and well deserving. He's actually was hurt. He didn't even play over in BH. The beginning of the week, I think they played Monday night. It was an exhibition game actually for Dickinson, so he didn't even play. But that's probably why he didn't start. And then of course he started the second half. So as far as being disciplined, I would assume not, and I'm assuming we'll see him this weekend from the get-go. But he is a load. The one bad thing about Lee is he doesn't shoot the free throws very well, and we do. We have a hack-a-shack rule for him, and we'll fall in the first half 7, 8, and 9 falls, and if it's a bonus, because if he goes to the basket, he's going to score and get an N1, and there's just nothing you can do about it, and we don't have anybody to stop him from doing that. So very good player, but he's older than average. There's no doubt about that, but he's a pretty good kid too.
Going back to Saturday night, did you recreate or explain that first time out for us?
I don't recall what happened. No, I obviously wasn't very happy, those of you that were at the game and whatnot, or heard or whatever, but saw in the paper, I guess, too. But obviously I don't like what I had to do kind of thing. I would never do that, and never personal attacks on kids and things. But, there's some expectations in our program, and I'm not going to get on a kid for turning it over. I mean, the game of basketball is a game of mistakes, and it's going to happen where you're missing shots, you're going to turn the ball over. Those are things that we live with. But kids, they don't go out and play hard, and they cross the lines, and they get a chance and an opportunity to put Hardrockers on their chests and school minds. And for all of us, obviously, in this room and watching and things, that's not acceptable to go out there and not play as hard as you can, not get the loose balls, not dive on the floor. And to be honest, it was kind of coming from the week. We had a tough week of practice where we tried to give them a couple days a little bit more laid back and that kind of thing, and weren't able to challenge them as much because they were so, a lot of stuff piled on them. And I had a bad feeling going into that game that this might be a situation where somebody's got to light a fire under them. And obviously, I would have rather had it happen with the seniors or some older guys and make sure that stuff doesn't happen. But coaches got to do what they got to do sometimes, and obviously they reacted well to it. Sometimes kids will shut it down if you do that, but not something we like to do, especially in games. Hopefully we've done stuff in practice to prepare us that those things don't happen, but that is not acceptable to put a Hardrockers uniform on and not go out and compete at the highest level as you can. And hopefully they learn their lesson, but if I got to do it again, I'll do it again too. But sometimes there's a time and a place for it, but hopefully you'll see them working hard all the time now. Anything else?
Any of your younger players surprising you other than maybe Connor?
Yeah, I mean, even Connor's surprising us. We wanted to redshirt Connor. We knew he was very skilled. We knew what we had coming in, but because of the strength and part of him, he's just done a great job. We didn't know what we were going to get from the Channelac kid either. He's in our program last year. But sometimes he doesn't like to guard guys still. He goes back to those high school days, and he's really done a great job the first few games, and now he's kind of getting back into that, worrying about scoring mode. Well, we're a defense-oriented team, so, I wouldn't say surprised with him either, but we needed him to be doing the things that he's doing right now, as well as Connor. Surprised the other way is maybe the White 2 kid. We have pretty high expectations for him. You all have seen what he's capable of doing, but now he needs to do that more too. So we got to get him going the other way that, I thought he'd be getting, a few more minutes and those kind of things too. So we're working on that. He knows the situation, and he's getting better every day on that side of it too. But like Coach Felderman said, the freshman fog, and I'm watching the Colorado and Wyoming play in the middle of the night a couple nights ago, and I can't sleep. And their one comment, of course, like we all say as coaches, is the best thing about freshmen is they're sophomores next year. So there's a long ways to go with those guys. Hopefully you can keep them going continuously. But this time of year right now is really tough on them. If we can get them over the hump for this week, really suck it up for this week. Those are kind of the people that I was addressing. They haven't been through this. They know they're going to get to see mom in another week, and all those kind of things that we've got to find a way to get them to compete. But I've just been surprised with all our guys. They've really stepped up a level, and our expectations are pretty high for them, but they're meeting those expectations right now, and hopefully that continues because we know how tough it is to win on the road. So hopefully that will continue.
Just to follow up with that, you got a lot of freshmen that don't get a lot of playing time. Are they coming along the way that you hope they would, and what do you see for them in the future?
Yeah, and really the only couple that aren't are a couple backup point guards. And our point guard play has been pretty good right now. So the other ones are redshirting, and like I've alluded to a couple times, is our redshirt group is a pretty good group right now. So Joe Newkirk and Evan Withrow, Steven, some of those guys, they've done a tremendous job every day, day in and day out of practice. And that's hard to do. When you know you're not going to play, you come in every day and work as hard as they do and get the job done in the weight room. And, Coach Hay will come in with them in the mornings on a Friday if we're on the road, and they get stuff done then. And it's nice to have some of those older guys that are redshirting along with them, but we're going to need those guys soon. I don't know if it'll be next year, but soon after that, when we start losing some of these guys to graduation. And they're going to be pushing for playing time next year coming off of a redshirt year. And like we've talked about before, is some of those guys will probably be starting next year. We might have 4 to 5 starters back next year, and we'll be fighting with other guys that are redshirting right now. So they're coming along. They're doing a great job, and it's not easy to do, but they've done everything that we've asked. Yep. Anything else? All right, once again, thanks for coming. We're back here January 7th at home. So, we're back here. It's for the luncheon, which we'll be glad to see you all again. But our home games are January 7th again. Thank you.